Pearl Harbor had just happened, but it was a very long way between those days and the work of the war. Mobilization and training, the factories building the weapons, and the ships to take men and equipment to face a very powerful enemy. This transition between working for self and working for one's country, for some, was not a very easy one. So I wrote a play called Johnny Quinn, and a very lovely and a very talented actress named Olivia de Havilland gave it life.
The National Broadcasting Company presents Plays for Americans by Arch Oboler. As a further contribution to national defense, NBC brings you a limited series of new plays dedicated to people of goodwill everywhere who believe in the inherent dignity of man, who fight together now for life, liberty, and happiness for all. This is a war of men and ideas, and these will be plays of the men and the ideas that make up our America of today. As the first of this series, we bring you the talented Miss Olivia de Havilland in a new play, Johnny Quinn, U.S.N.
I'll tell you of pleasant things. The way your father looked, the way he talked and walked and laughed, and what he thought. Your father was born in a little place called Far Harbor, in a cold little sea-swept town in Maine. He died on a day when the sun was very warm and very bright in a place they call Pearl Harbor. Let me tell you. I think he must have been a very funny little boy, your father. I didn't know him then, of course, but I've seen pictures of him at 7, standing as if he had a board against his back, and his eyes kind of popping out because the collar of his Sunday suit was so very tight around his neck. But I'll tell you something else. Even in that silly old picture, and even though he was a very small boy, there was something in his face that said,
"What's it all about? What's it all about?"
Hey, what'd you say, Johnny?
I said, what's it all about?
About taking your picture, that's what.
Why?
Oh, now you hold still. Blame flash powder. Because your mother told me to make your picture, that's why. Now stop twisting. Look at the birdie.
What birdie?
Oh, stop talking. Steady now, steady.
Why does my mother want my picture?
Oh, for land's sakes. You think these wet plates don't cost money? What do you think she wants your picture? Because mothers are darn... I mean to say because she figures you'll never amount to a darn. So she wants to have a picture to prove you did one thing in your life that you were supposed to do. Stand still for a couple of minutes in front of a camera.
But why does she want me...
Now, Johnny Quinn, you stop asking whys. Just stand there and get your picture took.
Always, yes. Always wanting to know why he had to do things. That was your father at 7. That was your father at 17. When I first met him. High school.
Here, Ann, I guess these are the seats. 6 and 7. I'll go first.
All right, Oliver.
Gee, we're so late. Oh, pardon me. Come on, Ann.
I'm with you. Pardon me.
Excuse me, couldn't we get by there? Beg your pardon. Here, Ann.
Yes.
You here, me here. Oh, gee. Weren't we lucky getting 6 swell seats?
Yes, we were.
Gotta find out what the score is. Yeah, I wonder if anyone...
7-3 their favor, beginning of second quarter.
Oh, thanks, fella. I sure appreciate... Oh. Hi, Johnny.
Hi. How about introductions?
What? Oh, yeah, sure. Ann Griffith, Johnny Quinn.
Hello.
Glad to meet you. Johnny Quinn. I've heard that name before.
Have you?
Ann, look at the program. That Edgewood bunch sure got the weight on us. Look, here it says...
Wait a minute, Oliver. John, why should I know your name? Are you somebody important?
Ann, look, the program, it says...
Oliver, please don't keep interrupting me. John, Johnny, I've just gotten back to town. We've been traveling. What do you do at school that's so terribly important?
You better watch the game, man. I'm taboo.
What's that?
Yeah, no touching, no speaking to, no see.
But why?
Look at the scoreboard. There's your answer. The guy won't play football. How do you like that?
Johnny, is that true?
Yeah, sure. What do you keep looking at me like that for?
I don't know.
Will you meet me after the game?
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Come on, meet me. I want to talk to you. Yeah, I want to talk to you.
And that was how I met your father. After the game, we met and walked.
Cold?
No. You?
No.
Walking too fast?
No.
Johnny.
Yeah?
You asked me out to walk and talk, but we just walk.
Why talk?
Johnny, why are you so old?
What?
You're not like any of the boys I've ever met. You're not much older than I am. Why do you act so old?
Wind's getting bad. I think we better go.
No, Johnny, no. You've got to tell me. What's the matter? Please tell me. Just walk and tell me.
Tell you what?
Who you are and why.
Oh, I'm just Johnny Quinn.
No, please, you know what I mean. Tell me.
Well, my father was what everybody called a swell fella. He never asked questions. Somebody'd come to him for a loan, he'd give it. Sign a note, he'd do it. Buy a drink, he'd buy it. Swell fella, everybody said. But when he got killed when I was 11, they took the house away and everything away. My mother had to go out and do day work. There wasn't enough of that in the little town where we lived, so we came here. She's still working. Yeah, I work, too. I got this afternoon off. I don't want to go to school, but she makes me. I don't play football because I haven't got the time. My father never figured things out, but I'm going to all my life. I got the right to ask questions. I got the right to know why I do anything before I do it. I've got a right to know what's in it for me. That's all there is to it.
That's what your father told me. I've got a right to know what's in it for me. I didn't see him much after that. He went to classes, and right after them went to work. Didn't have much time for girls. And I didn't have much time for thinking of him, studying and just growing up. But I did think of him every once in a while. His thin, hard face, and the way his jaw was always tight, as if he was expecting life to hit him. He wanted to be ready for it. And then I heard that he'd left school. I didn't see him again for 3 years. We met again at another football game.
3rd down and 5. Quinn substituting for Parson.
Eddie, who was that they just sent in?
What'd you say?
That substitute. Who is he?
Oh, that's Quinn, third-year man for state. Paper said he was hurt. I wish he was. We'd have a chance. As it is now,
Let's see your glasses, please.
Well, sure, but say, he's not that good-looking. Believe me. Believe me.
Through the glasses, I saw it was Johnny, all right. Johnny Quinn, who said he wouldn't play football. I sent a note down to the dressing room. We met after the game. He looked quite prosperous, and he had a car.
Enjoy the game?
Yes. You're very good, aren't you?
Lucky.
No, good. They were right wanting you to play for them, Edgewood High School.
All that, I'd forgotten.
Why did you change your mind, Johnny?
About football?
Yes.
Simple.
Is it?
They pay me, the alumni, tuition and $60 a month.
Oh.
I needed college training. I'm getting it at the price of running a few touchdowns. Where'll we go?
Johnny, I want to ask you something else.
No, wait a minute. You've forgotten.
What?
Me, I'm the question asker. I want to know how you've been and what you've done. How did a skinny girl turn into someone so beautiful?
I want to know about your mother, Johnny. Is she all right?
She died last year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No reason to be sorry. She lived a hard life.
And you still think you're hard, don't you?
Sure. I'm out for Johnny Quinn.
I don't believe that.
You better start believing it.
I wouldn't like that, Johnny Quinn.
No? Well, that'd be just too bad. Yeah, just too bad.
He said that, your father, to me. His lips said it. But his eyes... We didn't meet again for another year. This time it was at a party.
And now, my dear, I want you to meet a man to remember. He gives no quarter and asks none. Johnny Quinn. Johnny, this is...
I know.
You've met?
Yes, we met.
Well, forgive me. Do forgive me.
How are you, Johnny?
I'm fine. I see you are. So we...
What's the matter?
I just heard myself asking you if you'd like to go off someplace and talk. That's what we always do, isn't it?
Yes.
Look, I've got some tickets for a concert. Someone gave them to me. I didn't want to go alone. It's the kind of thing you like, so let's go. Okay? Okay.
It seemed so strange at the time. Your father wanting to go to a concert. And it was Tristan, of all things. But then I knew so much and yet so little of him. We went. We sat high in the balcony. The music. I can hear it now. Love music. But while it played, my eyes kept going to Johnny Quinn. His eyes were closed, and his thin face was at peace. And as I looked at him, his eyes opened, and he looked at me, and he smiled a slow smile, and I loved him. I loved him. And I was afraid of him. Because somehow Johnny Quinn to me was what was wrong with the world. He was the man who had nothing and wanted something and would do anything to get it, no matter whom it hurt. He was the man who had something, and to hold on to that something would do anything, no matter whom it hurt. He was Johnny Quinn. And somehow, all at once, I loved him, and I wanted to change him. And that night, he turned his head and spoke to me.
Anne.
Yes?
I tried to find out where you lived.
Did you?
Yes. Anne.
Yes?
Will you marry me?
Johnny.
I said it and I mean it. Will you marry me?
Oh. No. No, Johnny. No. So he asked me to marry him, your father, and I said no. I said no to him. As we left the concert, he was very angry.
Well, put it into words at least. We've walked from 6 to the river and all you've said is no. I know I haven't had time for a build-up proposing like this, but, well, I'm a sudden guy.
Not for a husband, Johnny.
All right, I've heard that. Put it into words.
Yes. I will. Do you know there's a world outside yourself?
What kind of a question is that?
I'll ask you another. Did you see today's headlines?
Headlines? Sure, of course I did.
What were they?
Why, Chamberlain got back from Munich today.
And what does that mean to you?
Should it mean something?
I'm asking.
All right. So they sold out the little guys. So we'll have peace for a while. So what? That's the way the world is. Big dog eat little dog. So for a while, everything's quiet.
And that's all it means to you?
For Pete's sake, what should it mean?
Well, doesn't the fact that the price of Munich will be that hundreds of thousands of little Czech people, good people, are going to be hurt mean anything to you?
Oh, now, Anne, are we going to start on politics?
Politics? When you use it that way, I'm afraid I don't know what the word means. I'm talking about people.
And I'm talking about us, you and me. What have we got to do with what's happening to foreigners half the world away?
That's just it. Once you said, what's in it for me? I'm asking that question now, Johnny. What's in a marriage for me to a man who thinks of the world as a hunting ground and everybody but himself the prey to be hunted?
No, Anne.
No, let me finish. You haven't known me at all. And I hope that I didn't quite know you as I know you now. The world's too full of people like you, Johnny. People who think they can live apart from the stream of mankind and not eventually pay for it.
I talk of marriage and you stand up on a soapbox.
Oh, Johnny, for the last time, try and understand me. Oh, I know what a terrible thing your childhood was, but you're a man, and you've got to have a man's values now. You're a man in a world of men where all the oldest hatreds and cruelties have come to life. And the fight against those is reality, nothing else. This is a time in a world when you've got to take sides. You're for those things and you shut your ears to persecution, or you're against them and you start in fighting. Which are you for, Johnny?
The same one. Johnny Quinn.
And so I went away. And I didn't see your father or hear from him until a few months later when I got a letter from him. I read it. And at first I couldn't quite believe.
So, there it is, Anne, right on the line. I've joined the Navy. Air Force.
Johnny Quinn? Navy? Air Force? Johnny Quinn a part of something? Johnny Quinn listening to anyone but himself? I couldn't believe it. Until I read the next words.
No, Anne, I haven't got religion. Just being smart. You see, I figured out that aviation is going to be the ground floor to what you apparently don't care about. Cash in the bank. Since the Navy will pay for my training and a salary besides, well, here I go. Yep. Still dog-eat-dog Johnny. You know, I couldn't quite answer you that night you lit into me. I never was much good at off-the-cuff answers. But maybe I can put it into words right now. What's wrong with the world is not the ones like me who say, this is my life, let the other fella take care of himself. No. What's wrong is your kind. The ones with their heads up in the nice pink clouds. The ones who talk truth and honor and justice and forget the plain fact that the only thing that matters in life is cash in the bank. So it's off I am to a nice, cozy little session at the taxpayer's expense, Anne. When they've taught me all I want to know, I'll be back to call on you. Maybe by that time, you'll be off your little lace-trimmed soapbox and ready to listen to good common sense.
That's what he wrote me, your father. You'll be off your lace-trimmed soapbox. I put the letter away and knew that I had to shut my mind and heart to every future thought of Johnny Quinn. I tried to. And then one day, the doorbell.
Hello, Anne.
Johnny.
I'm cold.
Come in.
Anne.
Your uniform. Very nice.
I wanted to see you very much.
I'm going out.
With me?
No.
Then listen, just a minute. I leave for Hawaii tomorrow.
Hawaii?
The squadron. We're ordered out.
Oh.
Anne, look at me. All the things you talked about, being part of the world and having to do something about it, I sort of believe that now.
Johnny.
Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But you've been in my mind so much, I guess your ideas climbed in, too. Anne, before I go, marry me. Say it, Anne. Marry me. Marry me.
That night, we were married. your father and I. And the next day he went away. And just before he went, he said something to me.
Well, Anne, it's just a minute.
Yes.
I think I better tell you something.
What?
I may be gone for quite some time. I mean, before I can send for you.
I know that.
It might be some time.
Why do you keep saying that?
Well, because I'm going out there for a purpose. I want to get all I can out of it for myself. Having you out there might slow me up. Oh, Anne, that's just what I want to say. I haven't changed. I'm still Johnny Quinn first and then the rest. What I told you yesterday, well, I wanted you so much. I just told you what you wanted to hear, that's all.
Boss!
I wanted you to know that because I wanted to be fair. Well, aren't you going to say something?
Boss!
And the train.
Yes, the train. Get on the train, Johnny Quinn. Get on it and don't ever come back to me. I don't want you. Ever. Ever. When I started to tell you all this, my son, I told you I'd talk of pleasant things. This isn't, is it? A woman marries a man for what he says he is. And then he isn't. The train went in a moment, and he went. And then the only memory of him were the letters that began to come. The letters that I didn't believe. And now, December 7th. I'll tell you about that. It was early in the day. The telephone rang. Hello? Hello?
This is long distance. One moment, please.
Who?
Ready with New York. Go ahead, Pearl Harbor. Hello? Is it Mrs. John Quinn?
Yes.
Just a moment. Go ahead, Lieutenant.
Hello? Hello, Anne?
Yes?
How are you, Anne?
All right. You?
Well, that's why I phoned you.
Johnny, you all right?
Oh, sure, but my letters. Anne, you never... Well, gosh, tonight I just couldn't sleep. I just had to talk to you. Anne, I'm not going to tell you how much I love you. I do, but there's something else I want to say, very much. In all these months I've been stationed out here, the Navy... I mean the men. Well, Anne, I want to tell you...
Johnny? Johnny? Hello, Johnny? Operator, we're cut off. I was talking to Hawaii, someplace in Hawaii, Pearl Harbor.
Sorry, the line's been temporarily disconnected.
I hung up the phone. I sat there. I waited. He'd call me back. He'd tell me what he started to tell me. I waited. He didn't call. The hours went by. He didn't call. And then a radio across the hall.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor? What of Pearl Harbor?
Japanese treacherously attacked Pearl Harbor.
Attack. Pearl Harbor. Johnny, I went back to the telephone. He'd call. He must call. He never did. But let me tell you what he did do, son. On that December 7th. The enemy, while talking peace and friendship, suddenly began to bomb and burn. And Lieutenant Quinn took off in his plane and went up high into the air and saw a formation of enemy bombers down below and dove down through the sky and crashed the enemy and died. Just that, my son. The enemy, one plane, and Johnny Quinn. Men have a word for that. Heroism. Before this war is won, there'll be other wives and mothers to cry for and be proud of that word. But your father's dying was a special thing. Because what he did was how he told me what he wanted me to know.
Anne, I want to tell you. Anne, I want to tell you.
Sorry, the line's disconnected.
I know what Johnny wanted to say. I know it as clearly as if I'd been right there next to him, that moment before he turned the plane down toward the sea.
Anne, let me tell you what I've got to tell you. They broke the phone connection, didn't they? Well, no matter. Now I can say it. All my life, I thought it was just Johnny Quinn against the rest. And what I got was mine, no matter how I got it. And then I got you that way, and didn't have you. And then I joined the Navy, and didn't have that either. But why, I ask myself, why? I'm smarter than the rest. Why should they who have nothing have something? And I take what I want and never have it. And then I got out here and met the men of this squadron. My squadron. The way they talked and flew. And all the big and little things they did day in and day out. Suddenly I saw they weren't out of step. I was. Me, wise guy Johnny Quinn. For they were giving something all the time, and I was taking. That was the difference. But why were they giving? I tried to find that out. What percentage was in it, this giving business? Yes, what was in it that they should give and take a punch at anyone who asked what they were getting for it? And then I thought of you, Anne, and all your words I'd laughed at, hadn't listened to, hadn't understood. And suddenly, as quick as the dive I'm going to take now, I understood it all. You were part of a world, and they were part of a world. The world of all the people willing to die for something bigger than themselves. Yes, you were all in step with every man and woman and kid who'd ever stood up under the whip, or charged across a no-man's land, or died in a concentration camp, or hung upon a cross. Yes, you believed something bigger than the world itself. You believed that every man who stood up for the right to be a man was your brother. That every woman who spoke for freedom for her children was your sister. That every child born under God's son was your child. Remember? Which side are you on, Johnny Quinn, you said? The side of those who hide and say, let me alone, the fight's the other fellows to win for me? The side of stabbing in the back and slow starvation for the children and the gangsters standing on the backs of all the little peoples? No, Anne, not that side. Your side. The side of dying, maybe, but living in that dying. Your side, Anne. Yours, 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 yours.
And so, my son, I've told you of your father. The way he walked and talked, and even what he thought. That's all there is to say.
Why, Mrs. Quinn, are you still awake?
Yes.
And whom are you talking to?
My son.
Oh, don't you think you'd better wait until tomorrow, when he's born?
Yes.
Well, good night. Sleep well.
Good night. Good night, my son. Good night, Johnny Quinn.
You have just heard Miss Olivia de Havilland in Johnny Quinn, U.S.N., the first of a limited series of new radio plays by Arch Oboler. The National Broadcasting Company brings you these dramas as a further contribution to national defense. Mr. Havilland appeared through the courtesy of Warner Brothers and the Hollywood Victory Committee for Stage, Screen, and Radio. With Mr. Havilland was Alfred Ryder. The original music was composed by Dr. Frank Black, who conducted the orchestra.
James Stewart, now retired General of the Air Force, came into the studio resplendent in his Air Force First Lieutenant's uniform. We were deep in the war, and Lieutenant Stewart had received special permission to do what you are about to hear, because there were still some of us who whispered that neither Auschwitz nor Pearl Harbor were any of our business.
the National Broadcasting Company presents Plays for Americans by Arch Oboler. As a further contribution to the war effort, NBC brings you a special series of new plays dedicated to people of goodwill everywhere who believe in the inherent dignity of man, who fight together now for a better world for all. This is a war of men and ideas, and these are the plays of the men and ideas that make up our America and our world of today. As the seventh of this series, the National Broadcasting Company has the pleasure to present Lieutenant James Stewart in a new play, Letter at Midnight.
I'm going to read you a letter. It's from my son. And it reads, Dear Father, I started to date
this letter December 6th, and now I see it's half an hour after midnight. And I remember how meticulous you were about times and dates, so I changed the date line. Oh, it's a warm night. One of the many subtropical nights down here that have steamed away all memory of my good New England ancestry. Oh, now, please understand me. I'm not ashamed of the long generations of us who had to break ice from around the wells, but, oh, it's good to be warm and quite alive. And it's about being alive that I want to write to you, Father. In your last letter, you asked a question and made a wish for me. Do you recall? Well, let's talk about the question first. It's a very simple question, and one I know you've wanted to ask me for a long time. Son, why did you do it? It's funny, isn't it, Father? For 2 years, you must have wanted to ask that question, and so help me, for 2 years, I wanted to tell you, but somehow I haven't been able to until right now. So here goes. Why did I do it? Why did I suddenly 2 years ago do a backflip out of all the things I'd known in life? Well, let's start at what I was 2 years ago. No, I can hear you say, you know. Oh, no, Father. Now, let me tell you. Tom Greer III, last year in college, and the biggest mouth this side of El Duce. What a mouth. Opinion, 2 cents a dozen, and on credit. Subject, any subject.
Telling you you're crazy.
Oh, you're no authority.
It's not theory, it's fact.
Who's your authority?
Oh,
stop making so much noise.
I said it, you heard me.
Academically speaking, but be practical. All right, fellas. Now, listen to me. Now, human nature is human nature. Lord Brooks said it. Oh, what a sad condition of humanity. I'll tell you, it's a condition based on the innate nature of man. The nature of his bones, his bloodstream, and his brain cell convolutions. The nature of all he's been as he climbed up out of the slime. Now, only evolution will change that, not preachment, nor law, nor moralizing.
Yeah, Father. Opinions of everything along the line. A year ago, I even knew all about women.
Well, now, I'll tell you, Charles, my friend, there's no such thing as an intelligent woman. Understand me, right? I'm speaking purely philosophical standpoint, of course. But it's been my experience that women can be divided into 2 classes. Speaking purely from personal observation, of course, I should say that both classes are equally divided. Well, I'll put it more simply. Now, what the average woman wants out of life can be stated in just a very few words. Very few words.
But the subject I could talk longest and loudest on, Father, was, of course, the world situation. I saw the whole thing as clearly as if it were a 5-ton truck coming down an empty road. The war, well, that was just history repeating itself. The money bags were on the loose again. Imperialistic stuff. The have-nots trying to grab what they didn't have, and the haves trying to hold on to what they had. Well, they weren't going to rook any of us young fellas into their little game. No, sir. Not as long as I could be chairman of committees and subcommittees and resolution committees.
Well, fellow students, we had a hard time getting this assembly hall. You could think this was the Dark Ages instead of the year 1939. Certain of our university authorities tried to stop us. But anyway, here we are, and as our first speaker, let me introduce to you the chairman of the Peace Committee, Tom Greer.
This is indeed an historic occasion in the history of this university. I say historic because this resolution we are about to adopt will make history. We say, keep America out of war. Keep her out of war at any price. We deny that America will ever find reason to enter into this war. And we deny that America's enemies are awaiting without.
Oh, I tell you, Father, I knew all the answers. And the first of every month, waiting for me in the mailbox outside the fraternity house was a nice check with your name on the bottom of it for $200. Yes, life was quite a thing for me 2 years ago. And then, all of a sudden, it wasn't. It wasn't because there was a girl. No, you don't know about her. Well, let me tell you.
What a day, huh, Tom?
Yeah.
Can't be sure it's quiet today.
Well, it's Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Tennis?
Look, wait, let's relax. Just relax.
Okay. Yeah, that's what grass is for. Cows and golf greens. And just sitting on. You know, Tom, I was thinking. Sunday, if it's a nice day, why don't we roust out a couple of females and go on a little picnic?
Wait.
What?
Hey, who's she? That girl walking this way. Who is she? Who is she? That began very simply, Father. A girl walking across the campus past the place where Hal and I lay warming in the sun. I thought I knew all the girls, but not this one.
I don't know who it is. Honest, I don't. Hey, wait a minute. That must be... Yeah, I know. Bill Royce was telling me. She's in his Nutrition 103 class. Some kind of a refugee foreigner. Yeah, she's sure got something,
I don't know why to this day, but I found myself going around the campus asking about her.
She's only been on the campus a couple of weeks.
Listen, Wolf, I tell you, she just won't talk.
Yeah, I'm in one of her classes, but that's all, brother. Sure, her name is Lisa Edling. Lisa Edling.
I found out very little. Lisa Edling, her name, that was all. Oh, a refugee girl taking courses at school, so what? So what? So, inside of a week, I found myself signed up for Nutrition 103, and sitting in the class, not hearing a thing, just looking at her.
Research on the bee complex has been accelerated tremendously during the past few years. The success in isolating B1 will unquestionably be a great determining factor in the isolation of other filtrate factors. In the course of yesterday's lecture, I mentioned the name by which B1 is now commonly known. Mr. Greer, will you give us the name, please, and describe the substance? Mr. Greer.
Brown hair, blue eyes. Oh, gosh.
Well, Father, I think they call the process falling in love. That's a laugh, isn't it? Me down here and telling you how I fell in love. But it's all one piece with what I did, why I did it. Lisa Edling. In spite of the fact that I thought I knew all the answers, I didn't get a chance with the questions. She just wouldn't talk. I'd do an off-tackle play right after class in corner and try a few bright and scintillating remarks. And she'd smile and murmur something about being very busy and then do a quarterback sneak out of the door. Every day I had to go to that nutrition class and hear cute little whispers of vitamin B1 has brown hair and blue eyes. Father, the strain on my ego was something quite terrific. But Lisa Edling went her way. She wouldn't talk to me. I wanted to talk with her, but all she had to do was just look at me and say, well, no, I'm very busy, and my tongue would all tie up, and that was that until the next time. And so it went until the night we had our great peace rally. As usual, I was chairman.
It is my privilege to present the Demosthenes Debating Society, Frank Culbert. Fellow students, we've had just about enough words. Now the time has come to act. We, a handful of the far-seeing students, must put into dynamic action that which we believe. And we must tell it to America in unmistakable terms. The war that is going on in Europe is not our war. No part of it touches upon our lives. If we keep the American ideal shining brightly, no one will ever dare attack us. We, as the future leaders of America, demand that nothing be done to jeopardize our future.
You fool! You young fool!
Tom, call the meeting to order. Tom, what are you just sitting there for? Call the meeting to order. Bang the gavel. Call the meeting to order.
Well, I didn't call the meeting to order. All I knew that she had been there, and now she was going. And then somehow I was out of the place and running after her down the dark campus parkway. Lisa. Oh, wait a minute, please.
What? Who?
Well, it's Tom Greer.
Oh.
Lisa, I mean, Miss Edling, I've got to talk to you.
Why?
Well, I just said it. I want to talk to you.
What are you doing here? You should be back with them.
Look, will you slow up? I'm here, not there. Now, so talk to me.
You're the chairman. You belong there.
I belong where I want to be.
Why did you follow me?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe to ask you a question.
Question?
Well, yeah. Why did you jump up suddenly like that and call Frank Culbert a fool?
Because he is.
What, Phi Beta Kappa, and you call him a fool?
I called him a young fool, and he is.
Well, all right. Why?
You don't really want to know.
Well, now, wait a minute. I do. Why else do you think I'm doing this marathon after you here?
You are interested in women, not the truth. Do not follow me. Please go away and do not follow.
She was a smart girl, Father. Sure, it was part of my line. I didn't really care what she said. All I cared was that she just said it to me.
I think I am the fool, letting you talk me into coming to this place.
Well, really, haven't you ever been in this black hole before?
No.
Well, why, the Beanpot's a campus institution. Hey, come on here, a little service here.
No, nothing for me.
What you said...
Mr. Greer, I came here only because you were most convincing that you really wanted me to tell you why I interrupted at the peace meeting.
Oh, all right. Do you mind if I catch myself a double Coke?
No, of course not.
Did you want something?
Yeah, Oh, hello, Judy.
How's your double pneumonia?
Huh?
What'll you have?
Hey, I was really sick last night, Judy. You can give me a double Coke.
Yeah? 2?
No, just one.
Yeah, and a jigger of carbolic.
Jigger of carbolic, yeah. Oh, that's another campus institution.
I want to ask you a question.
What about her?
Oh, no. Tell me, please. Do you believe that nonsense the other boy was saying?
Nonsense?
Yes. He said that the war that is going on in Europe is not your war, that no part of it touches your life, but of course that is nonsense.
Well, now, wait a minute. I believe that. Well, England and Germany are fighting one of their old imperialistic wars.
No, Mr. Greer.
No what?
This is not a continuation of an old power war. This is a fight for the survival of an ethical civilization. In plain words, a fight for the survival of the individual to live in a world of truth and honor and justice.
Here's your Coke.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome, Mr. Pneumonia.
Mr. Greer, do you think that your American freedom, your freedom could go on living in a world that belongs to Hitler? Do you think that in his world you could have this wonderful university where you could go to learn as you pleased and what you pleased? Or you could speak wisdom or nonsense, where the final decision as to your part in life was not a political bureau's orders, but your own to make, to work for, to fight for.
No, that's where I disagree. On that last point.
What?
Well, I don't think there will ever be any occasion for fighting if we keep clear of the fight.
Oh.
What, you shiver?
Yes.
Well, why?
I once heard my own brother say what you just said. Please, I want to go now. I want to go now.
Well, Father, after I left her that night, I tried to figure out how I felt. I liked her, oh, yes, more than ever, but she puzzled me. Certainly not like any girl I'd ever met before. She's pretty, young, and yet how shall I say it? Not young. Yeah, that was it. Younger than I was, and yet every look of her, every word she said, it was as if she was carrying the whole world right in the middle of her back. All those things she'd been talking about, sure, they were important, but they weren't that important. Yeah, I said to myself, I'll have to teach her to look at all the issues of the day in the proper perspective. Well, I was chairman of this group and sub-chairman of that group, and we talked peace and war and the part of youth and the major issues, but, oh, nuts, that was part of our college activities. Yeah. Well, I decided I'd have to teach Lisa Edling that all that was just part of our young lives and not all of it. We had a date the next Sunday.
The water is wonderful, no?
The water is wonderful, yes. Hey, you laugh. I'll take you speed boating every Sunday.
Oh, no.
Gosh, if anybody had told me a couple of days ago that today would find me in the middle of New York Harbor going 30 miles an hour with Lisa Edling, I'd have told him to go kiss a psychiatrist or something.
You want to go back?
Oh, no, of course not. We're going straight for that island you seem so determined on getting on. Hope the skipper knows where to find it. I certainly don't remember any such place. What'd you say the name was?
I think Bedloe's Island. Yes, that is the name of it. Bedloe's Island.
And so, Father, we went to this island, Bedloe's Island. Did you ever hear of it? I hadn't. Well, it turned out to be the piece of ground that they put the Statue of Liberty on top of. Well, I thought to myself, that's typical immigrant stuff. Okay, Bedloe's Island, Central Park, Park Avenue West. Tommy Greer III is going to make full use of that Sunday afternoon, believe you me.
Oh, no. No, Mr. Greer.
Now, Tom.
Tom, I could not go there. I would like to see the Statue of Liberty from the inside, yes, but you climb so high, oh, I would get so dizzy. Come. We'll just walk around her.
Okay, it's your day.
Oh, she is beautiful.
Who?
She.
Oh, yes. I bet she's got big feet.
No, please.
What's the matter?
Please do not make fun of such things.
What do you mean? Well, that's just the American way.
What?
Well, we make fun of our most sacred institutions. Why not? That's the grown-up way. To have the proper perspective on things, yeah. To have fun in life.
Fun? Is there not a time for fun?
Well, yes, now.
Oh, no.
Well, why not?
Because there's great danger.
What, on Bedloe's Island? What are you talking about?
I was talking of America.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Now, we're not in any war yet.
Oh, yes, you are. There is a war going on for the spirit of America.
What?
Yes, I tell you, it is true. The Nazis and the friends of the Nazis are trying to change the spirit of America. They are trying to change it into something that is selfish, that thinks only of its own comforts, its own fun. They are trying to make young men like yourself believe that the struggle in the world is something far distant, something only to be talked about, the way you talk about history. But this is happening, Tom Greer, flesh and the screams of little children and the blood of men dying to hold back darkness. When the Nazis marched into the little town in Austria where I lived, they stood my father and my sister against a wall and shot them. Because my father was the head of a labor union and my sister had written a book about the rights of men. My brother had been as you are, Tom Greer. The things that were happening in the world had always been things to be talked about, but he had never done anything about it. When the Nazis came for my father and my sister, my brother tried to fight them with his bare hands. Then it was too late. Much too late.
Father, we stood there by the Statue of Liberty, and she talked to me. And suddenly, somehow, I was really listening to her.
I've not been fair to you, spoiling your holiday, telling you of these unpleasant things. But I had to say them to you. for you, not the old men, but you are the hope of a world of people who cannot die, who must not die.
It's sundown. They're lowering the flag.
Oh, Tom. Tom, help them. Make sure your wonderful flag will always rise again in the morning. Help them.
Father, I've almost come to the end of your question. I took her home. I said, goodbye, I'll see you in the morning. But in the morning, when I was back at school...
Hey, Tom. Tom Greer. Have you heard? That girl you once asked me about, the foreign one, you know. Well, my sister's in the dean's office, and she just told me that this Lisa Edling, or whatever her name is, quit school and left town this morning to go join some kind of Free Austria movement. Going back to Europe. Some kind of a dangerous project or something. You were asking about it once, so I thought maybe you'd like to know.
She'd gone away. Back there. I heard the words, Father, and I kept on walking. I tried to think of the way she had looked the last time I'd seen her, but I couldn't. I could only remember words. Her words. And then one of the campus buildings, a crowd around it, the students carrying posters.
Hey, Tom. Tom, where have you been? We've been looking for you. Our committee, we've got to picket this place. Can you imagine the nerve of the dean? Letting those fellas in here? Yeah, an Army Aviation Examining Board setting up headquarters right on the campus to get students to volunteer to join the Air Corps. And guys are actually joining. You could think we were in a war or something. Hey, Tom, what are you going in there for? Tom, what are you going in there for?
That's all there is to it, Father. The answer to your question as to how it happened. I walked into where they sat, a major and a captain, and I just told them I wanted to enlist. That's all there is, Father. And yet, not quite all, for there's the matter of the wish you made in your last letter to me. Do you recall that, too? You said that no matter what my reasons were for joining with the Air Corps, you wished that I could have in this, my 23rd year, the life you knew when you were 23. And then you filled 5 solid pages with memories of that year. The glorious turn of the century, you called it. America, after long years of struggling, was sitting down to enjoy her new richness of soil and forest and mines. The accumulation of all the hard work of all her little people. And men like you built their homes and raised their families and put their money in the banks. And life outside was bright and glistening. And men wrote about when knighthood was in flower and sang of daisy bells and read of David Harum, applauded actors playing Beau Brummel and Monte Cristo and Ben-Hur, the Floridora, the glorious 1900s. Yes, and America was rich and growing richer, and everything would always be that way. For we indeed were quite the wisest, and there was no world but our world, and there were 2 broad oceans all around us, and life was good and safe. Safe. Everlastingly safe. And that's why you wanted to give me your old world, Father. To give me safety. But now I tell you I don't want it. For in that safety was a decay that grew and grew. A rottenness of men who thought security could be bought with strong beams in their houses and thick vaults in their banks, who talked of Christ and who applauded evil when it grew powerful, who thought that the world of their family was more important than the world of men. That safety, Father? Oh, no. Not at the price of a world where men grew fat and children hungry. Not a world where every 50 years they blast and bomb and burn your churches. Where power feeds itself on persecution. Where deviltry of self stands upon the throats of all the little people. I don't want that world, I tell you. This is my world, and this is my day. For now, at last, men fight, and know that they are fighting against the miseries you forgot in your world. Good and evil, clearer than ever before in the history of man, stand facing each other across the blood and the tears. This is my day, Father. Our day, our fight. I may die, but I'll be fighting for my world. And even dead, it'll be my world. A world of people living in the peace that will come, that must come. The peace of all the brotherhood of men together at last in common decency, in simple justice.
That is the end of the letter from my son, dated December 7th, Pearl Harbor.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard Lieutenant Jimmy Stewart in Letter at Midnight, a new play by Arch Oboler. This was the seventh in a special series of plays for Americans brought to you by the National Broadcasting Company as a further contribution to the war effort. Included in the cast were Lieutenant Stewart, Mercedes McCambridge, Byron Kane, Gloria Blondell, Lou Merrill, and Byron Palmer. The special musical score was composed by Meredith Wilson. The orchestra was conducted by Charles Dant.
Arch Oboler's plays. A Story in the Night.
Linda.
Yes, Carl?
I've been looking for you.
And I for you.
Look, Linda, this party, it's getting a little too much for me. It's a great night. How about a little walk on the beach?
All right. But quickly, before someone changes my mind.
Get your wrap?
No, I'll let the moonlight keep me warm.
That is good.
Careful. Night air.
You know, I never could understand the hunters. They build this place here on the shore, and then, well, when they give a party, they seal the windows hermetically. Here, down this path. That breeze off the sea is good. Don't you think so?
Frankly, Carl, I didn't come out here for the air. I've been very anxious to talk to you. Very.
Oh, that's flattering.
It won't be when you hear why I want to talk to you. Carl, I've always liked you.
And I...
Liking you, I've tried to understand you as you are, but must you be so antisocial?
Antisocial? Me?
The Rensalls had a dinner party last night.
Oh, that. At the office, I couldn't break away.
The Carters were expecting you the night before last at the theater.
Linda, I'm a businessman.
Carl, you can't disappoint people continually and expect them to have any regard for you.
My friends know I'm a busy man.
You and I belong to a set that demands certain obligations from us.
I wonder if you know how pompous that sounds.
Pompous or not, it's the truth. Can't just ignore social obligations.
Well, I'm here, am I not? The ocean's rather calm, isn't it?
They were talking about you only last week at Page's.
Page's? Say, J.B. made a good thing out of International Motors last week. Must have cleaned up $250,000.
Someone mentioned your name, and this other person laughed and said, don't invite him unless you expect me to bring his stock ticker.
Idea, man.
I hear the same about you wherever I go, Carl. There isn't a man I know who spends as much time at work as you do.
Well, if that's what I want, why shouldn't I?
Carl, understand me. I appreciate the importance of money, but after all, you could find time for your friends. Why do you laugh?
I just remembered why I wanted to be alone with you.
Well?
I was going to lecture you.
What?
Yes, lecture, really, I was. I was going to tell you that you've been burning the candle socially at both ends. Or words to that effect.
Really?
Well, you are, you know. Bazaars and style shows and all that nonsense. But you took the offensive so quickly, I forgot what I wanted to say. And that reminds
You're
me...
remembering a great number of things, aren't you?
Yes. One of the things was to tell you that you're looking very lovely tonight.
The man's human.
You're irritated with me, aren't you?
I am. Carl, you could be an utterly charming man if you'd forget your stocks and bonds and debentures and all the rest of that for a while and start enjoying life.
Linda, now you've got me irritated. Just because my idea of living doesn't include a room full of jabbering idiots...
I think we'd better go back.
Now, wait a minute. Linda, I want you to... Oh, Linda, let's call a truce on this. After all, we're a couple of mature people. Let's act maturely and leave each other alone and enjoy the night. How about it?
You're hopeless. All right.
Good. We'll get off on safe subjects. The sea, the weather, the moon, June, the number of days to Christmas.
Exactly.
See, we'll start with the sea. Calm, isn't it?
Don't walk so fast, Carl, please.
Uh-oh, I forgot. Sand must be ruining your slippers.
No, beach is packed so hard. I'm quite all right. Just don't walk too fast.
Right. Fine place the hunters have here.
They do have successful parties.
Hunter bought this place right before 29. Tried to unload it all through the Depression. Couldn't even get enough to cover the land value.
Did you hear about Ivy's debut? Margaret naturally wanted to have it at the Claremont, but Tom insisted on their country place.
Poor Tom. Dropped plenty in that amalgamated merger. Amazing. A man of his experience not knowing that you can't disturb the capital of an investment in an organization...
No, just a minute, Mr. Laughlin. If you're thinking of starting on capital investments again, I'd better remind you that this conversation is limited to, remember, June moon.
What moon?
Well, of all the inconsiderate clouds I have... Carl, what are you staring at?
I can't quite make it out. Do you see anything down there near the water's edge?
Why, yes. There is something there.
It's so dark.
Carl, it moved.
I saw.
Is it a dog?
Well, I'm not sure.
Let's go closer.
Now, Linda, wait. Hey, Linda, come back.
Carl, come quickly.
What is it?
Look. Someone sitting in the sand.
Well, who in the world?
Oh, drunk. Just someone who lost his way to the bar. Come on.
Now, Linda, wait.
Wait for what?
Well, I better see who it is and give him a hand.
All right, you must play the Good Samaritan. Go ahead.
I say there, fella.
What in the world's the drunken fool doing? Digging for clams?
I'll have to get closer. I say there, old boy. You're going to get a little wet there when the tide comes in, aren't you?
Well, drunk and dumb.
Yes, you're right.
Let's go on.
No, wait, please.
But why?
The moon will be out in a moment. I want to see what he's doing. There. Now we'll see. Why, it's an old man.
Writing in the sand.
What are you doing here?
Guess he just won't talk.
How do you like that? Writing in the sand with the point of his finger.
Carl, I don't like this at all. Come away.
Well, Linda, what is it?
Nothing. Nothing at all. If this old man wants to sit here in the dark and stand, why let him. What does it concern us?
But what's he writing? I can't quite make out. Oh, the moon went under.
Carl, he's staying here?
I'm sorry. I want to see what the old man's writing. What are you writing, old man? Old man, don't you hear me talking to you?
Carl, you're being insufferable.
Linda, where's your curiosity? Deserted beach after midnight. An old man writing heaven knows what in the sand. Aren't you interested in knowing?
I'm not interested in maniacs. Who else but a psychopath would sit like that?
Linda, wait. Moon's coming through the clouds again. Now I'll see. You see it, too. He's writing names in the sand. Names of people.
Carl.
What is it?
His face.
What did you say?
Face. Did you see his face?
No, I didn't see it. Linda, what's the matter?
Face.
What about his face? twisted clouds. Can't see. Oh, light again. There's nothing wrong with his face.
I thought it...
Just an old man. Must be a gardener. Writing names in the sand.
I want to know who he is.
Well, now you're curious.
I want to know who he is, Carl.
And I'm certainly going to find out. Old man, we insist on knowing who you are. Do you hear me, old man? We insist. No attention. Must be deaf.
Clouds covering the moon. Sea so green. Carl, I'm cold. Let's go in.
Now, if that isn't like a woman. 1 minute you're curious, and the next minute you're cold. The moon's bright now. Look, you can see some of the names he's writing. John Berkeley, March 2nd, 1941. Well, how do you like that? He wiped the name out and he's writing another one.
George Ellison, March 2nd, 1942.
Wipe that one. Writing another.
Name after name.
But why? Old man, can you hear me? Why?
What do you say?
He's certainly not drunk. Eyes so bright, so intent on his work. And what work?
Carl, don't laugh.
Huh? What did you say?
He seems so busy.
Linda, what is there about this old man that disturbs you? I think he's funny.
Carl.
Dirty little unshaven old man, crouched over, writing names in the sand with the point of his finger. It's a serious career, isn't
Carl.
it? A career for one's old age. No overhead, no competition, no profit. Sit in the open air and write in the sands of time. Linda, I tell you, when I get too old for Wall Street, I think I'll join this old man.
Carl.
Huh?
C-A-R. Carl, look. Your name. He's writing your name.
Well, what do you know about...
C-A-R-L.
The old fraud can here. Must have overheard you say my name.
Carl. Your last name. He's writing that, too.
But that's impossible. He doesn't know.
He is writing it. L-A.
My name? He doesn't know who I...
U-G. How slowly he forms each letter.
How does he know? What does he write?
Oh, what is it?
I don't know. Feel sick.
Oh!
Don't let me fall.
Oh, man! Oh, man, help me! Please help!
He's finishing my
Oh,
name.
man, help me! My friend, he's ill.
Can't breathe.
God, I can't hold you. Help me! Someone help me! Oh, you're standing up again.
I feel all right.
Carl, what happened? How did you frighten me so?
My name in the sand. Where?
Surf. Came in and wiped it out before he'd finished.
Old man, why did you write my name? How did you know who I was? Answer me. Why did you write my name?
What difference does that make? You're ill. Let's get back to the house.
No, I feel fine. Sudden dizziness, but I'm all right now. I want to know how and why this old...
He's writing again.
Huh? L-I-N. Your name.
Yes.
D-A.
Carl, take me home.
Oh, wait. You can't possibly know your last name. J-E-S.
Oh, please. I
He does know it. F-E-R. writing so slowly, as if he wasn't quite sure. But he does know it. Linda, how in the world do you imagine he knows? Linda.
Oh, help me.
Linda, what is it?
Hold me.
Yes, I'm holding you. Linda, in heaven's name, what is it?
Holy.
Linda. Linda. Linda!
Carl.
What?
Carl, why are you holding me?
You were ill, fainting.
What are you talking about?
Are you joking?
What is there to joke about? Please let go of me.
All right.
My name. He was writing my name.
Yes.
Where is it? Sam. He's writing another name. Where's mine?
That wave must have washed it out before he finished.
I remember now. My heart. I couldn't see. Darkness. I was falling.
Yes, falling.
Your face so white. Carl, why?
As he wrote my name, I felt as if I were dying. And then you felt the same way, too, as he wrote your name, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Cold it is here.
Cold.
He's still writing. The moon. Gone.
Oh, stay by me.
Yes.
Still there?
Darker.
In the darkness. I can't stand it anymore. Oh, man. Who are you? Who?
Linda, stay away from him. Don't.
No!
Linda! Linda, what is it? Linda.
No one.
What?
No one. Here.
But he was here. I saw him.
Oh, find him. Find him and talk to him. I've got to know. I've got to.
Old man. Where are you, old man?
There he is there. Far down the beach.
We've got to catch him. Come. Old man, wait. Old man.
Old man, wait. I beg you. Wait.
Old man, wait. I want to talk to you. No one. There he is.
Where?
Out the other way. At the edge of the water. Old man, wait. Old man.
Wait till me call. Wait. Oh, why do you stop?
No one. I thought I saw you. But there's no one. If only the moon came out again.
Find him for me, Carl. Find him for me.
You blasted moon. Come out. Come out.
Oh, man.
Linda.
I heard.
Oh, Linda. Yes, of course I'm laughing. What we just heard, the wind. Our friends back at the house.
Friends?
Yes, friends. That wind and the sound of them talking, it cleared my head. My life has been like my business. Everything has had debits and credits. This that's been happening to us. My head's clear now, and I can think of it in practical terms.
Tell me.
We met an old man writing in the sand.
He wrote my name.
And mine, too. All that was real enough. Now then, how did he know our names?
Yes.
Simple enough. You and I are not unknown. He must have been an old gardener on the estate here. Yes, that's it. He'd heard of us. Then heard us call each other by our given names, and so he knew the rest of it.
But when he wrote our names, we...
Yes, I know. The dizziness. It's all quite easily explained. Back in the house, the air was bad. We came outside. Both of us nerves on edge. Too much fresh air. Dizziness followed. Oh, I talk about it anymore. Let's get back to the house.
Oh, yes, quickly.
Careful now, not so fast. You'll fall.
Yeah, I'm all right. Faster, Carl. I want to get back.
A drink, that's what I need. A drink, or 2 or 3, a dozen.
So very dark.
Infernal clouds. Stay along the water's edge. Easier to walk.
Yes.
Fantasy of the night, that's all it was. We let our imaginations run away with us. Yes, imagine things that didn't exist.
Carl.
Why do you stop?
Carl.
Why are you pointing?
He's writing again. He's there, writing again.
Old man. Old man!
Go, don't leave me. Go, it's so dark. Go.
Gone again. Gone again.
Carl, take me back to the house. Quickly, don't stand there. We'll run.
Wait. The moon. Shining down so strangely. Everything so strange.
Strange.
Yes.
Carl. The edge of the water.
What?
Our names.
Oh.
Names. Our names in the sand. See them?
Yes.
There's a date. Written after my name.
And after mine.
I can't see. The date. Oh.
The wave is coming. Linda, come back.
No. I've got to see.
Linda! I did, too.
The date when I...
The date when I...
Oh, no.
No, it isn't true. It isn't. It isn't. A date within the sand, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. It doesn't. Does it, Linda?
I didn't think it would be so soon.
You believe?
Yes.
I do, too, somehow.
So soon?
Oh. No, I won't believe. I won't. I'm going to live for a long time. 50, 60 more years. My family, they lived long lives. My father, my grandfather. This can't be true.
Carl, don't be so afraid.
You're not?
I am. Yes. Somehow it's wonderful.
Wonder?
Yes. Wonderful. What every person in the world wants to know. We know. You and I.
It'll be spring that year when I...
No. No, don't think about it that way. The wonder of it, Carl. Think of that.
I've never thought much of the wonder of things.
How good the air is. Like wine. I heard them call it that. I never believed the breath could be so wonderful.
If a man planned every minute that was left, how much he could do.
That's why I say it's wonderful, Carl. I know what I have left. I can plan the days, the hours, live each one because I know just how many of them I have. Carl, I'm almost happy now.
Happy?
Yes. Yes, why not? Now I'll do the things I wanted to. Yes, every one. Listen to them back there. I never really wanted that, Carl.
But you always...
Because that was the path my mother had gone. And the one she led me to. But all the time, the snobbery of money and those silly little family destinies. I wasn't happy because it really wasn't what I wanted. I knew that, but I went on because there was a tomorrow. I said to myself, tomorrow, some new tomorrow, I'll start the life I want. I didn't know. Now I know my tomorrows, Carl. I've got to start now. So I will. And so I'm happy.
What?
Child, Carl. Yes, I want a child. There, I've said what I never thought to say. How I used to laugh at people with their children. Such clever, brittle talk. All the time my heart was in my eyes. Listen. On the wind.
Yes.
Music of the night call. Look up. Stars are singing. They know I'm free. For a little while I'm free. And you, Carl, what will you do?
What will I do?
Yes. What will you do tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, I'll go back to my business, of course. My business. No.
You're holding me.
Yes. Linda, you and I. We've got to be together.
Oh.
You're right. There can be happiness in it. For these days and months we're free. The world. We'll climb up to those singing stars of yours. When I was a boy, I always thought I'd do that. Travel. Tomorrow. There'd always be a tomorrow for me. Yes, I was immortal. I thought that, really. Most of us do, don't we? Everybody else in the world would live their lives and die, but I, always inside myself, I thought I'd live forever. So I climbed into a cage and stayed there.
You're holding me so close.
You and I, Linda. Together. Free. Until that day. Say it. Say it.
Oh, my dear. Why did it take death to teach us how to live?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Arch Oboler. In tonight's play, Mirage, it was our pleasure to have with us Nan Sunderland, known to all of us also as Mrs. Walter Houston, and Edmund MacDonald, who is soon to be seen in the Joseph Pasternak production of Destry Rides Again, a new Universal picture. Next week, 3 short plays of Men and Their Ways. Hometown, The Circle, and State Executioner, featuring Ray Collins.
Arch Oboler's plays. A Story in the Night. Arch Oboler's plays are presentations of the National Broadcasting Company and are heard in Canada through the facilities of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Tonight's play came to you from Hollywood's Radio City. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
October 1940. Suddenly, peace was a fraud. From overseas, the agony of the innocent massacred was rising, darkening the light of the world, making a mockery out of the wily stratagems of temporal political alliances. To me, the issue became a simple one: freedom. I wrote a play, and the distinguished actor Raymond Massey said, "Yes, of course I'll do it, anywhere, anytime." But the radio network said, "Sorry, we're not at war. We have no enemy. We still do business with all customers." So Mr. Massey and I flew to New York from California, pounded on tables until the microphones were given us in small surrender.
Every Man's Theater, written especially for radio by Arch Oboler. Tonight, our star is the celebrated actor of stage and screen, Mr. Raymond Massey, in an adventure of our times, This Precious Freedom, the second of an exciting series of plays especially written for radio and brought to you each Friday at this time and over this station by Oxidol. And now, Mr. Oboler to tell you more about tonight's program in Every Man's Theater.
This is a fictional story, a play about a tomorrow which would never happen here.
Morgan?
Yes, sir?
Can't you make this crate of mine go faster?
Sorry, Mr. Stevenson. We're bucking a pretty stiff headwind.
Come now, don't tell me the heavens are conspiring to keep me from getting back to work. Open her up, Morgan. I've had enough vacation.
Yes, sir.
That's better. You know, Morgan, I should think you'd be as eager to get back to the city as I am. After all, a young fellow like you, month up in the woods with nothing around but those overstuffed squaws. Well, I, for one, am going to be glad to get back in harness again. Of course, I'm not going to admit that to Mrs. Stevenson. I talked to her for the last 10 years about cutting myself off from civilization and having a real vacation, and...
Morgan, what's the matter? Oil line open.
By George.
All right, take it easy, Mr. Stevenson. We're okay. Just fasten your safety belt.
Where are you going to land?
The field ahead. Hold on. Don't be afraid.
Don't be a fool. I've been in forced landings before. All I want to do is to get down there fast. I've got to get to the city. Got to get back to my business.
Yeah, guess there's no one home, Mr. Stevenson.
No one in the fields and no one to help us. Fine end to a vacation.
I guess we'd better try to flag a ride into town.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Someone coming. Well, how do you do? We just had a forced landing out in one of your fields.
What do you want?
But I'm trying to tell you. We had a forced landing out there in your field. Could I use your telephone?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I don't see what earthly difference that makes. All I want is to use your telephone. Why, you... Morgan, did you see that? Slammed the door in my face.
Yeah.
In my face, infernal fool.
Mr. Stevenson, you know, that guy was awful scared.
This is the main road, isn't it?
Well, that's what the sign says.
Then where's the traffic? We've stood here for an hour. Doesn't make sense, that, on a main road.
Hey, wait, Mr. Stevenson. Here comes a truck.
Well, about time.
If you don't stop...
We'll make him stop. Driver! Driver!
Driver! Hey, driver, stop!
Driver, stop!
Stop!
Driver, my plane. I had a forced landing out here. Could you drive me into the city? Did you hear me? I'll give you $25.
Okay, jump in.
Morgan, you better stay here with the plane. I'll send someone back.
Yes, sir.
I hope you're a fast driver.
Fast enough.
Well, for a while there, I thought there weren't any trucks on the road anymore.
Not many.
But this is the main highway. Now it's practically empty. Why?
Mister, I'm just a driver.
Some sort of labor disturbance, eh?
You kidding me?
What are you talking about?
I'm not talking, mister. You are.
Look here, I've been vacationing up in the woods for weeks. I deliberately haven't read a newspaper or heard a radio in all that time. But now that I'm back, I might as well start taking it again. What's up? Well, why don't you answer me?
Mister, I'm just driving. Them out for yourself.
$15, $20, $25. There you are.
Okay.
Well, I certainly didn't get any conversation for my money.
Are you getting off, mister?
Yes, of course. Huh. Manners certainly haven't improved while I've been away. Goodbye.
Paper? Paper, mister, paper?
Yes, of course, boys. Let me have one of each.
Huh?
I said one of each. Each newspaper.
Who are you kidding?
Say, what's come over everyone? Here, give me a Tribune, a News, Times, all of them. Well, don't stand there. I'm in a hurry.
Mister, don't you know?
Know what? What? Boy, come back here. Where are you going? Come back here. At least my office is still here. Door stuck. Fine business. Can't get even into my own office. Well, open up. Open up. No one in there? Door locked. Where's my key? Nice business. 11:30 and they haven't even opened the office. That's loyalty for you. Didn't expect me back so soon, I suppose. Entire office staff decided to take a vacation. Well, what in the... Desk. Files gone. Office empty. Where in the...
Are you looking for something, mister?
What? Regan.
Huh? Who are you?
Regan, don't you know me? What's going on here?
Well, Mr. Stevenson.
What's happened to my office? Where are all my things? What's going on here? Don't stand there with your mouth open. Tell me.
Dead? I thought you was dead.
What are you talking about? Everyone knew I was going on a vacation. What's happened to my things? Where are all my people? Answer me.
You don't know?
Know what? Talk words, man. What's happened to my business?
Mr. Stevenson, I can't tell you.
What do you mean you can't tell me? You're the manager of the building. Who moved out my office? Where are all my things? Answer me.
You're hurting me.
Answer me.
You can't ask questions, Mr. Stevenson.
What?
Go home, Mr. Stevenson, please. Go home quick.
Oh, man. What did he...
You all right?
Yes.
No. You better not try to stand up. Take it easy.
Are they police?
Yeah, in a way.
Someone made a mistake.
No mistake, Mr. Stevenson.
My name. You know it.
Yeah. And I used to do business with your company once. Always treated me fine.
Who are you?
Me? Oh, nobody. Just sort of clean up.
Where am I?
Well, Mr. Stevenson, there are some things I can't tell you.
Mistake. Horrible mistake. I'm John Stevenson. I'm a respectable citizen. My wife. I've got to get in touch with Jean. She'll be worried. She wasn't home.
Now, take it easy.
No,
Mr.
wait, the mayor. Yes, the mayor.
No.
He's a friend of mine. He's got to get the telephone and
keep your
tell the
voice
mayor
down.
what's happened.
If they come in here again...
Let them come in. I've got nothing to be afraid of. I've done nothing. Come into my house without a warrant. They've got no right.
Now, Mr. Stevenson, you don't understand. Please, Mr. Stevens.
Understand what? Tell me.
Things are different.
Different? What do you mean? What's it got to do with this? With me?
Mr. Stevenson, it's something I don't understand. Where have you been?
Been? Out of the city, in the woods. Don't waste time, man. Call up the mayor. Tell him.
But that won't do any good.
Why not? There's been a mistake.
I guess maybe you're the only one in the whole country don't know about
Talk
it.
sense, man.
Well, I'm trying to. I don't know exactly how to say it.
Well?
Well, first that part of the Constitution, they threw it out.
Part of... What the devil are you talking about?
That part of the Constitution. You know about rights. Threw it out. The way I got it figured out, when others ganged up on us, all them battleships and airplanes, well, there wasn't much we could do now, was there? Had to sort of, throw in the towel.
Are you trying to tell me that while I was away, there's been an invasion?
Invasion? Well, they ain't gone all the way. I mean, just this piece of the coast.
Get out of here.
What?
You heard me. Get out. Haven't I had enough today without listening to you, you crazy old fool?
But, Mr. Stevens...
Get out, I tell you. Listen, someone out there, get this crazy old fool out of here. If this is a jail, get me my lawyer. What am I being held here for? What are the charges? Get me my lawyer. Get me my lawyer.
So, you still insist on having a lawyer?
Certainly. If there's some criminal charge against me, I have a right to have a lawyer.
Right. What right are you talking about?
You're obviously some sort of police official. Well, let me tell you, a horrible mistake has been made. I'm no criminal. I'm John Stevenson, an ordinary businessman. Call Mayor Alden. He'll tell you.
He'll tell us nothing. The man is of no importance.
No importance? But the mayor.
The mayor of what? The Worms?
Worms?
The man is dead.
Oh.
But that, too, is of no importance. What is important to me is you and your activities.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your so-called vacation trip. Whom did you meet?
Meet? What do you...
Don't ask questions. Answer them. You've been out of the city for weeks. Suddenly you return. Where were you?
On my vacation, of course. Is there any law against that?
For the last time, don't try to be clever with me.
Once and for all, will you tell me what the charges are against me? There's been some kind of terrible mistake, all right. But tell me what the charges are. Give me a chance to clear myself.
I have wasted quite enough time with you, Mr. Stevenson.
Let me post bond. Let me call my lawyer. You've no right to keep me here. My wife, she wasn't home when I was taken away.
Yes,
She'd be worried.
Yes, of course, your wife. Have you any idea where your wife is, Mr. Stevenson?
Why, home, I suppose. Yes, she must be there now. If you'll hand me the phone.
She is not home, believe me.
Why do you say that?
All right, Sergeant.
In there.
Jean, what are you doing here? What is it? Jean, stop crying. I'm all right. There's been some crazy mistake, but... Jean, why should you cry like this? You never cry. Jean, the children. Are they all right? Jean, talk to me. Stop crying and talk to me.
She knows better.
Better? What are you talking about? Jean, lift your face. What's happened? What's wrong?
Take her away.
No, she'll stay here. Jean, you tell me what this is about. Has everyone gone crazy? What? No, let go of her, you bastard! John! Let go of me! Bring her back here! Bring her back here! I'll kill you! Jean! Jean!
You will be quite calm now, eh, Mr. Stevenson? Yes, I'm sure you will. We have quite a technique for calming down unreasonable people, haven't we? So you still persist in talking. So, discipline. That is the first lesson you must learn in this new state of ours. Discipline. Always discipline. It is very strange, Mr. Stevenson. You've been here now over an hour, and yet there is very little fear in your face. I wonder why. Astonishment? Yes, a sort of astonished wonder in your face, as if you can't believe. Could you possibly be ignorant of the facts? This glorious new state that we are planting here. This fulfillment of the dreams some of us have had since the day we heard a voice telling us of our destiny. A dream that will come true. This will soon be our nation now, Mr. Stevenson. Ours, all of it. Your men are fighting, yes, but we will win. Wonder in your face? Yes. Sometimes I ask myself, can it be true? The wonder of it, yet no wonder of it. The plan, Mr. Stevenson, the plan, always it was there and always we followed it. We poured our propaganda in on you. Yes, we used your own weaknesses against you. We cried, let us speak, it is our right. How simple it was to use your own rights against you, so now you have no right, Stevenson. No one has right but we who are leaders. I was quite carried away, wasn't I? I must not forget to let you speak. We want to know many things. Every detail of your airplane trip, whom you saw, which of our enemies are hiding up there where you were. I warn you. Answer quickly, Stevenson. Who were your friends? Which of our enemies did you meet? Who were your friends? Whom did you meet? Where did you go? Whom did you meet? Where did you go?
Put him here.
Yeah.
Dead yet? No, not yet.
Dead yet? No, not yet. Who said that? I can't see. All mixed up. Vacation. Enemies of the state. Airplane. I don't know. All mixed up. No. Got to stop. Got to think. Oh, pain. No. Got to think things out. What's happened to me? What?
Our glorious new state.
We who are the leaders.
This will be our nation soon.
Voices in my head. All mixed up. Think things out. I've got to go crazy. From the start. Yes, from the start. Vacation. Coming back from my vacation. Landed plane.
Go away.
Yes, that farmer.
That guy was awful scared. Awful scared.
Yes, Morgan, you said that.
I don't know any answers. You'll find them out for yourself.
Yes, truck driver.
Mister, don't you know? Mister, don't you know?
Yes, newsboy, he too.
You can't ask questions, Mr. Stevens. Things are different. You can't ask questions, Mr. Stevens.
Yes, they said that. Everyone said that. Everyone talking to me, trying to tell me. I didn't know. I don't know.
This will soon be our nation.
It isn't true. No. It's all in my head. Jean. Jean. Where are you? Jean. Where are the children? Jean. Did I just cry out? Cry out? Why should I cry out? My name is John Stevenson. I have a business in the Central Building. I have a house in Arcade Street. I have a wife, 2 children, a boy and a girl. We have a good life. A good life.
Is he dead? Not yet. Dead? Dead? Dead?
Why do I keep thinking that? Who said it to me?
Dead? Dead? Dead?
Yes. I know. I remember. Going to kill me. I'm an enemy of the state.
Our glorious new state.
But it's so funny. John Stevenson